Hey guys, CD Lime here, and I am making a video today to talk about something I don't see a lot of people talk about, and that is combo theory. So I kind of want to just jump right into it because this is going to be a bit of a bigger topic with lots to go over. So first things first, what is combo theory? To me, combo theory is it's a broad subject, but generally I would define it as your ability to understand your character's options and how to practically apply those options to get the most out of every hit confirm. That's a bit of a wordy definition, but because it's a complex concept, right? It's the ability to fully understand your character's options at all times and understanding how you can apply those options in different scenarios. So as far as I see it, combo theory, to break it down, is really split up into two separate things. The first one is your own character's options. So that is just going to be understanding what your character has as for options and combos at any given moment in time, right? So in Grand Blue, I know Lancelot has his auto combo off of his 5L. And that's a good option if I just need to get some damage or get a knockdown, but it's not going to be the most I can get out of every time I get a 5LL. So what are some other things I can do out of that? Well, I know that if I do a frame trap with 5LL, because 5L is plus, it's still combos, right? So if I know, okay, cool, I know that combos, alright, I can extend it further. So I can be doing tight frame traps and still get the reward that I would regularly get for my auto combo. I don't have to just settle for button special, right? As another example, I know, okay, cool, my far H has enough hit stun that I can do EX stab out of it, right? And so with your buttons in general, you just kind of want to know you want to test for your options that you have and what are realistic options. Like, sure, I could do this. I could do far H and EX stab, but how realistic is it for me to actually get that in a real match, right? Is it really realistic or is it not realistic? What are some ways that I can make it more realistic? So in the case of Grand Blue, and this isn't going to be true for all fighting games, but because I have easy input, I know, okay, well, if I want to get a hit confirm off this, but I'm not entirely sure my far H is actually going to hit, I can do easy input, and it makes reacting to it so much easier because I know, okay, cool, well, it's one button instead of one input. When it's one button, so much faster, you just do it, go. Now, it isn't just how your buttons function, but it's also how your specials function that you want to kind of start to really understand here. So again, in the case of Lance, we'll use his stab because I think it's just such a perfect example of this. So his light version doesn't extend combos, but it gets a knockdown, and almost more importantly, it side swaps. So I know, for my combo theory, if I'm ever in a situation where my back's to the corner, which look, I'm a Lancelot player, my back's probably going to be to the corner at some point, and I get an auto combo starter, I know if I do light stab, I'm going to take the corner back, which is really advantageous. And it's not super extended combo theory, it's literally button special. But by knowing that, I know that when I have my back to the corner, I can get better reward than just reset to neutral, they're full screen away from me, right? So that's going to be the sort of thing that you kind of want to be keeping in mind with your specials. As another example here, in the corner I know, okay, cool, let's say my Rekka was on cooldown, so that means I don't have access to my Rekka. Well, what's a way that I could extend my combo in the corner so that I get at least a little more damage, or I get better knockdown? Well, we do auto combo again into my EX stab. And by doing that, I have given myself a little more time for that cooldown to come back. I've spent my cooldown, sure, but I know that my EX stab is going to be something that gets me a hard knockdown, so I can do different things like, oh, okay, cool, I can set up safer Oki, and you know what, I can set up time-consuming Oki that buys me more time to get my cooldowns running back. Or I can do something like, I can do this combo. Ooh, I reset. It's a reset. Because I'm doing a combo, I know I'm going to be plus frames, and while I may not be plus enough to make this fireball summon safe, realistically, my opponent isn't going to be thinking about that unless I do that all the time, right? So it's just when you do combo theory, it isn't just about extending your combos as long as you can. It's also about understanding how to optimize all your combos for the situation you're in. So you always want to be thinking about the situation more than just the damage, right? Because you know what? I could just do the most damaging combo every single time. Like I could just, let's just do this, right? Like, oh, okay, cool. I am going to do my EX stab extender, and I'm going to do Rekka, and then I'm going to do button, and then I'm going to do Rekka again. And it's like, okay, cool, that was more damage, but the situation isn't better for me. It's actually in a lot of ways much worse, right? So in that sense, I was using my combo theory poorly, because even though I know this combo works, and I know these parts can kind of work together in tandem, the way they work out isn't actually all that advantageous for me, and it was, an improper use of it, right? So that's kind of, as far as your own tools, that's going to be what you want to look for. Now, combo theory, however, isn't just limited to your own tool set. It is also going to be restricted by the mechanics the system puts in place. So in Grand Blue, as an example here of that, the game has a timer limit. Or rather, not a timer limit, a combo limit. So what that means is that I can't do certain combos because they're too long. The game determines, nope, you put too many buttons in there, you put too many specials, something's wrong, not allowed to do. And as a result, combo routes that in theory should work because there's enough hits done and the spacing's good, don't, because I've stepped over that internal limit placed by the game, right? So now, what I want to be doing is, because I know that then in certain situations, I'm just going to have to be more careful about the buttons I press. So, we'll use this as an example here. So, EXDP. I could get a combo, and it might be easier if I use auto combo, but I know from the lesson I learned from my B&B that if I do too many buttons in a combo, the combo is going to drop, right? So what I want to do then is I want to make sure to maximize this punish, because this is going to be a big damage punish. I am using the minimal amount of buttons. I want to be using as the least amount of buttons as possible so that I can extend my combo longer and make the most of that opportunity, right? Again, it all comes down to situational awareness and a familiarity with the tools you have. And that last example is actually a really great way of learning how to test and apply stuff with combo theory. So, all this stuff it's fine and dandy that that's how it works, but it's kind of tough to test, right? Like, well, it's really hard to set up scenarios where I'm going to be in a match and I don't know, like, I have a starter that I don't necessarily know how to combo, or a height I don't necessarily know how to combo. So how do I practice that? What I do is I pick a starter like Lancelot's EXDP. It's a starter that's going to give me lots of options as far as combo follow-ups, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can do EX stab, and I still have enough time for buttons and all. Like, I have a lot of options out of EX stab. But because it's so much time to follow up with, I know I can also experiment. So I'm like, oh, okay. I know that light stab works there, and that I can follow up with an EX Rekka, or if I get, let's do this again. Oh, see there, I know that height, even when you fail, right, you're learning things. So I know now, unlike EX stab, light stab, it'll whiff at certain heights, and I need to be careful about the timing on it. So by giving yourself a scenario where you have lots of options, it gives you more room to kind of really experiment with those options and what realistically are going to work and what won't work, and it's a really great way to break the pieces down. And so in this case, the pieces of that combo would be EX stab as my starter, and then as a follow-up I did close H, light stab, or I should say EXDP into close H, light stab. So that was part one. right? So that full section there, that's part 1 of the combo. Now, because the stab has popped my opponent up, I'm given the opportunity to kind of mess around with what I want to do next here, right? So I can do close H again, and I can do an EX stab to follow up. And that's one option I have. Or I can do an EX Rekka like I showed there before. That's another option I have. I can do super there, right? So those are, you want to like break your combo bits down into pieces and then use those pieces as your ways to test, right? So, okay, this time I'm going to do EX stab first. What can I do after that? Oh, okay, I'm going to do light stab first. What options do I have after that, right? And exploring and understanding those options are where combo theory really kind of clicks and comes together. Once you can break your combos down into those little separate pieces and then start reapplying those pieces in different ways, in practice, your hands will get the use to that, they'll get the feel for that, so that come time in match when you have to really apply those, you don't have to think about those options. Your hands already know, okay, I know at this height this option will work, and I know at this height this option will work, which is going to be better. You're taking the time away from thinking about what you're doing and thinking about what you're doing next. And just relieving that extra little step out of the mental stack is so important to fully understanding how to effectively use combo theory. I know it's a lot, and combo theory is definitely one of those things that as time goes on and as you play fighting games for longer and longer, it just gets so much easier and easier because a lot of that basic stuff just becomes second nature to you. But it is really important to know that there is a process with how you can practice combo theory early on and how you can break it down in your brain, right? So you want to make sure that anything in fighting games, you can do it as quick as possible. So the more time you can remove from thinking, the better. So yeah, that's I just kind of wanted to go over combo theory today because it's been something on my mind. I hope the video helped. I'm hoping to do a couple more tutorial type videos like this in the future because I think they're kind of neat, and I think there's a handful of subjects that I don't see talked about a lot. So if this helped you at all, please give me a shout in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.